when you look at your bio as far as South Carolina is concerned, it says Vancouver, Washington. And what jumps out, I'm like, how in the world did South Carolina find this guy from Vancouver, Washington? But you are a guy from the Southeast, like you said, in the state of Georgia. Just kind of talk about your high school career, again, as a running back. And then Steve Spurrier gets the job at South Carolina. You're part of his first signing class, which is a very, very big deal. But just talk about how that sort of all evolved. I mean, again, you go from Georgia to the state of Washington. You end up signing with South Carolina. Like, what was the recruiting process like for you, and how'd that come about where you ended up in Columbia?
So I started off my high school career in the state of Georgia. I played just up in Canton and Cherokee County at Sequoia High School. But towards the end of my sophomore year, my father had gotten a job offer at a company called Boise Cascade that was going to move us out to the West Coast. And, I said, I'd just rather it be sooner than later to get out there and start meeting the team, start meeting the guys and get familiar with what's going to be going on. So I went up there, ended up finishing up there. But I think my junior year, I had offers from like the University of Washington, and I think I was kind of like a legacy at Georgia Tech. So Georgia Tech had been recruiting me a little bit, but I ended up at South Carolina, I think via Steve Spurrier Jr. He had recruited me when he was at Arizona. And I remember hearing that Coach Spurrier, who coached my father in college, had gotten a job at South Carolina. And then I randomly got a phone call one day from Spurrier Jr. saying, hey, I don't know if you know, but I've taken the wide receiver coaching position, whatever, at South Carolina. We're going to bring your tape with us, and, you'll hear back from us shortly. And then I think I was coming back from a visit from Montana State, and I got the call from Coach Spurrier offering me a scholarship to come out of South Carolina. So I ended up taking a visit. It's very near home, back to near where I played high school football, where I played with, I even played against Kenny McKinley and some people from like South Cobb and stuff like that. Wow. So when I got there, there's familiar names. People knew where Sequoia High School was, and I'd actually played a couple of them several times. But yeah, it was good to get back home. Is what it kind of felt like, and one of the big reasons I came to South Carolina.
So you said your dad played for Steve Spurrier. Is that right? At Florida, I'd assume, or was he at Duke, or where you?
He played wide receiver at Georgia Tech, and it was one of Coach Spurrier's first coaching positions. Wow. He was his positions coach at Georgia Tech.
Wow. And then you said you were, so that's why you were a legacy at Georgia Tech then. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's crazy. So, did you ever want to go to Georgia Tech? Was it like you wanted to end up there, or you didn't really matter to you?
Well, I grew up going down because we lived about, 30 miles north of Atlanta. So I grew up going to, Saturdays in Atlanta, Georgia Tech, right on campus, tailgating, watching the games. So I wanted to go to Georgia Tech, but they didn't really offer me until, I think even if they did, till late. But by that time, I was 100% South Carolina. But I did want to go to Tech, but it just didn't really work out.